How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beared Down Uncut, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Should the Bears keep the 100 patches on their jersey? And which Bears jersey is your favorite? We're going to be answering these questions and many more in episode 36 of Uncut. Welcome back to the show, guys. Before this one starts off, I would like you guys to go down in the comments. Comment your favorite Bears jersey that they've worn throughout the last couple of years. We're going to be going through a couple of those, talking about our favorites. And also, while you're down there, be sure to click the subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications whenever we post. We got some really exciting plans, dropping some new merchandise once we hit 1.5k subs. I am your host, Chris Malpe, and today I am joined by my co-hosts, Parth and Jaylen McClinton. How's it going, fellas?
Doing good, So I just had lunch. I will record Bears videos, doing what I like to do the most.
What'd you eat?
Had some Chipotle.
Good stuff.
just enjoying this 100-degree weather right now. Other than that, it's pretty good.
Man, I cannot say the same. I feel like in Chicago, it goes from gloomy days to really nice days, like 60, 70 degrees, and today is most definitely a gloomy day. It rained overnight. But let's get right into it. We're going to be basically running through the Bears uniforms, a little bit more of a fun, laid-back episode of Uncut, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. And we're just going to talk about some of our favorite stuff with the uniforms, some possible modifications that we would make, so let's get right into it. So obviously, the Bears wore 5 jersey combinations last year. The home jerseys, navy jerseys, white pants, away jerseys with white jersey, navy pants. The classic uniforms were designed after the 1936 season unis. They had navy and orange stripes on the helmet, sleeve, and shoulders. I know a lot of people like that. If you remember the game against the Dallas Cowboys, we wore them there. You also have to remember the orange jerseys that they brought back in 2018. Wore them against the Miami Dolphins there in a loss that ended on a missed field goal by Parkey. And then they wore them in 2019 on a missed field goal by Pinheiro against the Chargers. I just realized that. So maybe the orange jerseys are a little bit of bad luck, but orange jersey and white pants, those are absolutely beautiful ones as well. And then one that a lot of people forget about is the classic alternate. It had the white C on the logo, and also it was basically the home jersey combination outside of that. But that white C on the logo was awesome. They wore them against the Giants there in 2019. Parth, I'm going to start with you. Out of those 5 options, which Bears jersey is your favorite?
I'm going to have to say the 1936 alternates. I just loved everything about them. The helmet was super nice. I like the white with the navy. I think that goes really well. And the stripes on those, the shoulders. I kind of dig them, and the numbers were sick. I think the socks could maybe use a redesign, but that's about it.
Yeah, a lot of people were out on those socks with the stripes, with the navy and orange. I'm going to have to go with the classic alternate to switch it up here, It's the home jersey with the white C logo, but I love that throwback logo so much. That logo is so sweet. I can't really say much more about it. We're so used to just seeing the C there on the helmets, but that classic, crispy white C, I loved it, and when I was at that game against the Giants, I was like, dang, I really like these uniforms. Jaylen, you talked about earlier what you're going to pick as your favorite, but which Bears jersey that they wore in 2019 was your favorite?
I love all the Bears uniforms, but probably my favorite would be the all orange ones, or the ones we brought back in 2018. That orange, it just hits different for me. I just like the way it looks, Plus, we haven't had really good games in them, but the games that we have worn, they look extremely nice on the field. So I'm gonna say the alternate ones.
Don't forget we beat Minnesota.
Yeah, the Vikings. Yeah, I was about to remember that one. Yeah, 1 and 2 in those orange jerseys, but not a bad game there at all against the Vikings. Kirk Cousins in primetime. Maybe we wear him again this year when he comes to town to play the Bears once again. I think on Monday Night Football. So, next, obviously, last year, the commemorative season, centennial season, actually, 100th year in the league, they had a Bears 100 patch on the jerseys that a lot of people liked, and I feel like, personally, it's pretty unlikely that they keep this patch. But, Parth, I'm going to go to you. Do you think that's something that they should keep? I mean, I think it really portrays the history of this team, and not only that, but it was a pretty good-looking patch.
I like the patch. I would love to see them bring it back, but I don't think they bring it back. But maybe the Bears can bring back another patch or something that resembles a franchise. A patch dedicated towards the McCaskies, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up.
I wouldn't be too upset about that as long as it looks cool on the jersey.
Yeah, something with like Michael McCaskey's face and like MM or something. I think that would be super cool. Obviously, the McCaskey Hallis family is super important here in the history of the franchise. And that's a good point you bring up. Jaylen, I want to ask you though, should they keep that Bears 100 patch? And would you be opposed to a commemorative patch for Michael McCaskey?
I would love for them to keep the patch, but I doubt they do it. That was for the 100th year. This is going to be the 101 year that the Bears have been, in the NFL. So I doubt they bring that back. But I wouldn't mind bringing a patch for the McCaskies or the Hallises. I think that would definitely be dope, especially because we sadly just lost Michael McCaskey to cancer. So I would definitely enjoy a McCaskey. Definitely enjoy a patch dedicated to the McCaskies.
Michael McCaskey, obviously the team chairman and president from 1999 to 2011, had a great stretch there in building the front office of the 2006 team, and a commemorative patch. Obviously, his brother's George, his mother's Virginia. I think that's definitely something that probably will happen in 2020. We haven't really discussed that, but that would definitely be really cool. So, obviously, look at the history of the Bears jerseys. I don't know if you guys remember, but the old alternates that they got rid of in about 2016, 2017 had these big, bold orange numbers and navy and orange stripes on the socks. Parth talked earlier a little bit about not liking those socks himself, but those old alternates that they wore, they used to wear them like for the Halloween game, also just for some other alternates. Those big, bold orange numbers is something that I really liked a lot. So, Parth, I'm going to pass it to you. Do you think they should consider bringing those jerseys back in the future?
I think they'll bring them back this year, actually. I mean, I don't think the Bears use the 1936 jersey this year. As much as I loved them, I don't think they'll use them. So I think they'll bring those back with the orange jerseys for more games back this year. And I like those jerseys with the big, bold numbers. I'm pretty sure. I remember I went to the game where they played the Lions, where I think Connor Barth missed the game-winning field goal when game-tying field goal to go to overtime when Trubisky had that insane 4th and 13 run. I think that's the game they wore those jerseys.
But hey, at least they looked good. The game I went to where they wore those jerseys was, I believe, 2016 Halloween. I think I was like a sophomore in high school.
I was there too.
Halloween night, Bears versus Vikings. Not only was it the game where Jordan Howard broke out, I mean, he had like a 75-yard touchdown run on the first play of the game, but or it wasn't a touchdown, it was like a 65-yard run. It got us to like the 5. But Jay Cutler was also balling out in those jerseys. That was just a really fun game to be at, and those jerseys looked so good. Jaylen, do you think they should consider bringing back those old alternates with the block orange numbers?
I had to look them up because I was confused on what you guys were talking about. But now that I see them, I'm like, oh, you talking about these jerseys? Yeah, these jerseys were dope. Especially because like Jordan Howard had one of his best games in his career with us. I've always been a big fan of these jerseys, especially when we had them when Matt Forte was here. I remember he had a couple big games in these jerseys. So I think we should definitely bring it back. I hope we do bring it back. The 1930 jerseys. I love those. I would have changed the socks too, but if we bring one of these two jerseys back, I would be extremely happy.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what's more likely, whether they bring back the 1936 jerseys or they bring back these other ones, I mean, I think we'd all be fine in saying that if you slap a Michael McCaskey patch there on any of those jerseys, it would look super sick. So I think we're all in favor of that Michael McCaskey patch as this episode has unfolded, as well as bringing back either the 1936 alternates or obviously those big block orange number jerseys that they retired a couple of years ago. I'm going to put your guys' mind to the test now. Obviously, there have been some jerseys that have been posted on Instagram the last couple of days, like new color rushes and stuff by an account named Designs by Chad, and actually caught the Bears' attention, so they've been getting a lot of publicity there. Do you think they'll get new jerseys soon, and what modifications would you make? I'm going to answer this one first. I think they should put the bear on the helmet. I think that would be sick. Obviously, I talked earlier about how I like that white C logo on their home jerseys. I just like the Bears' jerseys in general. I think, obviously being a rich old franchise in the league, I think buffing the jerseys to be something like the Buccaneers or the Falcons are doing now. I'm not saying that they're bad jerseys, but I just think the Bears' rich history sits in that navy and orange and that white jersey for the away games. But I do think throwing the bear on the helmet, it would be super cool. I mean, whether it's a navy bear or an orange bear, I think that would be super cool. And on those designs that were posted earlier this week, the bear on the helmet looks super cool. I also just think, in general, I mean, obviously, there's not a lot of leeway with this as far as the NFL goes, but just getting everyone to have some sweet matching design cleats is something that could be cool. And then obviously down the road, I think the socks is something that has to be worked on, especially for the alternates. So Parth, I'm going to pass it to you. Do you think the Bears will get new jerseys soon? And if so, what modifications would you make if you were the one designing them?
I was in the NFL shop just now, like just looking at jerseys and stuff, and they're selling like silver jerseys. I feel like a silver jersey would be a cool addition to the Bears jersey collection. I mean, like we could have silver alternates here and there, or orange alternates, and like our 1936 alternates. And I like the idea of the Bears logo on the helmet. But honestly, I would rather just have them keep the white C that you talked about on all the helmets. I feel like the white C just looks super clean.
Also represents the history of the franchise there for sure. Jaylen, I'm putting your mind to the test here. Do you think the Bears will unveil new jerseys anytime in the near future? And if you were the one designing them, what type of modifications would you make?
I definitely don't think the Bears will unveil any new jerseys just because, like, we've been in the NFL so long, we haven't really made major improvements to our main jerseys. We just came up with alternates and stuff like that, which is completely fine. If we bring out another new alternate, I think that would be dope, especially because their Instagram posted these concepts and asked which one we prefer. So I definitely think they're working up something which would definitely dope. So I don't think we're gonna get new jerseys just because we're a story franchise. Our jerseys have been like this for a very long time. A lot of other franchises are just like us and not changing any jerseys anytime soon, which is fine. Plus, I'm scared if we do change our jerseys, then we're gonna end up with like what the Los Angeles Rams have, and that jersey is terrible in my opinion. So I'm gonna just keep it plain and simple.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I'm the only one that's a fan of those Los Angeles Rams jerseys. I'm not a fan of their logo, but the jerseys in general I'm a fan of. Jaylen, any modifications you would make if they did design new jerseys?
I like that idea about putting the beard on the logo. I mean, on the helmet. I think that would definitely be dope, but that's about it. I wouldn't change the jersey.
So, I mean, Parth, I like the idea that Jaylen brought up of like keeping the same home and away jerseys, but unveiling a new alternate every couple of years. What do you think of that?
I can dig that. I mean, I was also thinking about going white on white, like maybe a week or two, and bring it back with the old Devin Hester days. I feel like the white on white would be super sick.
I remember watching Johnny Knox in the white on white. I mean, you can't think of anything more icy or clean than those, especially if they are to bring back Color Rush in the future. I know that wasn't a thing in 2019, but has been in the past when the Bears brought out the all navy jerseys, which weren't that bad, honestly. But that's pretty much it for episode. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I thought they were too simple. I thought other teams had like just much more better designs.
Yeah, and I think the Bears would probably ramp it up if Color Rush were to return, which I really hope it does in the future. Those Thursday night games were a lot of fun to watch. But that'll pretty much do it for this one, guys. Episode 36 of Uncut, a more laid-back one, an innovative one, if you would say so yourself, talking about possible upgrades of jerseys and stuff. Also, go down in the comments and comment if you were to make any changes to the Bears jerseys, what would you change? Thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you want more content from us, head over to our website, beareddown.com. You can find more content, articles, blogs, and columns from us on there. If you're on Instagram, the link to our Bears fan pages are in the description. And you can also follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at Beared Down. About 40 subs away from 1.5K. We got some big plans coming up for once we do reach that. Parth, Jaylen McClinton. Got another interview here soon. Tom Grossi, going to be a fun one. That'll come out, I believe, on Friday evening. How much are you guys looking forward to this one?
I'm excited. I mean, it can't top the one we had yesterday. Patrick Manley was awesome to talk to, but excited to talk to a Packers fan. It's going to get a little chippy in there, but I'm excited.
I'm definitely excited too. He's probably the only Packers fan I'm subscribed to on YouTube. I just like his content. He's a very funny dude, even though he likes to talk trash about my Bears. But I'm definitely excited for this one.
It's going to be a good one. We have a lot of good stuff coming out for you guys this week. Also, 53-man predictions will come out this weekend, probably on Sunday. Also, obviously, some more uncuts as well. If you have any suggestions for us, feel free to always comment them. We love taking ideas from what you guys want us to do. We obviously want to make the best content for you guys possible, so if you have any ideas for us, leave a comment down in the description. It can literally be any very broad topic about the Bears, and we'll hop on and talk about it for sure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 36 of Uncut once again. I feel like I've said that like 5 times now, but it's been a pleasure being your host. Once again, my name is Chris Malpe. Bears fans, do us a favor and stay safe And as always, bear down. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.